Hey guys, so I'm with Jermaine here.
Hey guys.
So we in South London, like deep south. We're here to collect the keys for his first rent-to-rent property. So once we get the keys, we'll go to the property, and then we'll give you guys a tour and have a little discussion, to let you know about his journey and the way he's heading to.
Fucked around and got a new bitch. Hey, ain't nothing like a new bitch. Used to flex on me, now you wanna come back.
We got the keys for Jermaine's first rent-to-rent deal. That's the keys. Obviously, we're at the property now, so we'll just give you guys a tour, show you the house, what he got going on. Yeah. MTV crib. Let's go in. So bro, it's on you, man. Show us what.
First room. We have it downstairs. It's a nice, decent sized room. So the first room, they're lucky enough to have their own bathroom here. So this will be their own separate bathroom. And then if you come along here, you have like the communal area where they can sit down, and they're lucky to now have the TV. If you come outside here as well, come outside here. This can be a nice communal area for the tenants during the summer. So if you come upstairs, we have 4 other bedrooms upstairs. On the second floor, we have 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. So this is one of the larger rooms within the property. It has a balcony in it. It's a nice, decent sized room, and as you can see, the balcony is out there. So on this second floor, there's also a bathroom here as well. This will be shared between both tenants on this floor. So here, we have the second room on the second floor.
Like that.
It's also a decent sized room.
Nice.
And then we have the third floor. On the third floor again, we have 2 rooms and then 1 bathroom. So this will be the 4th bedroom within the property. Nice, decent size again. Most of them are roughly around the same size throughout the property. And then again, we have a shower room for both tenants to share. Which is really great because with some properties, you have about 5 tenants possibly sharing 1 bathroom. So we have the 5th bedroom within the property.
So Jermaine, how you doing, bro?
I'm great, I'm blessed.
Good, man. So this segment here, guys, we'll just have a little chat with Jermaine to find out more about his journey, what he's doing, what his plans are, and then how he came across getting this deal. So just more about Jermaine. So Jermaine, just tell us more about yourself. Before coming to doing rent-to-rent properties. What was you doing beforehand?
So I was studying and working at the same time. So I've kind of been aware of rent to rent for quite a while now.
Yeah.
I just never really took action, which is the most important part.
Uh-huh.
During this whole lockdown period, we've basically had like 3 months now. Within the first few weeks and after he had basically furloughed me,
Yeah.
it really gave me like the time to focus on what I want to do. Because as Warren Buffett said, if you have one source of income, you're one step away from poverty.
Facts.
So I definitely, and you also said as well, you need to create different streams of
Yeah.
ways of making things happen.
Facts.
So for me, it was trying to increase try and make multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
And rent to rent was definitely something that caught my eye because property is definitely something that keeps me going.
Yeah.
And I feel like every morning that's something on my head.
Yeah.
And I know my why. I've tried different other stuff. I noticed I didn't really go further with it because I didn't know my why. But with rent to rent, I've hit little hiccups, but I still went and I still pushed forward with your guidance. And I guess that's where I'm at the moment.
Yeah. So if I can get it like in retrospective speaking, you kind of been entrepreneurial prior coming here.
Yeah, definitely.
So what were the other stuff that you tried before getting into property?
So I had like a clothing line when I was in secondary school.
Bro, clothing line, that's like that's like everybody had a clothing line.
Everybody had a clothing line because it's so accessible nowadays to create your own logo. But I guess it's more than just creating the clothing. Like when you look at Nike products, it's really the brand. They can sell you, they can get a t-shirt for 50p, put their logo on it, and
Exactly,
it becomes £50.
Yeah.
So
but with the clothing line businesses, what really frustrates me is when people just buy t-shirts and just put a logo into it, you know.
Definitely.
But when you see someone create like fashion, you know, I can see there's a difference between someone having a fashion business and having a clothing line, you know. But yeah, so literally, a lot of mans that I know they went via the clothing line route.
Yeah.
So you tried clothing line. What else?
I tried e-commerce. It's not so bad. It's just that the passion wasn't there, so I wasn't able to pursue further. And I guess when you really want to do something, you have to educate yourself.
Yeah.
And that education process can sometimes be boring. And if you don't really have a passion for it, you're just gonna stop.
Yeah.
But when it came to rent, there were so many people training you. I was so intrigued about it, but at the same time, you have to be careful who you go to advise or who you try to get as your mentor. And with your services, I just saw it was authentic. There was so much great feedback from it, so I just had to go with you. Yeah.
Thanks, man. And one thing also, Clutch, you said, you know, when you tried other businesses, you know, you didn't really know your why, you know. So would you say you know your why right now?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So how does it distinguish, you know, knowing your why and when you didn't know your why and also trying to do business simultaneously?
Because I'm sure everyone that's an entrepreneur can agree, it's not a happy life.
Yeah.
Within the generation that we live now, people only post their success.
Yeah.
And then everyone wants this immediate gratification.
Yeah.
So with this entrepreneurial life, there's going to be bumps around the road. There's probably going to be more downs than there is ups.
100%.
So
100%.
when you get to that bump and you don't know your why, it's just going to stop there. You're going to be like, why am I doing this? You just put that to the side and try to start a new venture. But when you do know your why, you know your end goal, you're going to pursue to see it at the end and see it flourish.
Exactly, yeah. No, that's decent, man. So from like everything else that you tried, you know, there's also various things out there you could have, you know, embark yourself upon. What made you come to property?
What made me come to property? I guess it's because I need to try and find the right words to describe this. The passion was there. I have uncles that bought properties, and like they can be financially free if they want to, but they're still working. I just saw the passion for it. Like things like changing, finding a house, looking at it and looking at how you can potentially change it around. The rent to rent. I was so fascinated how you don't have to earn someone's property, but you can control it and generate profit from it. You can find multiple rent to rent deals. And basically make that your income and keep it stepping.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I was just in love with the whole strategy
Yeah.
and trying to move forward. Yeah.
No, definitely. And we also discussed, you know, when we had like a coaching calls, you know, even though you're doing your rent when it's great, you know, it's great for cash flow, but at the same time, you know, it's not really a great fashion of you building wealth.
Definitely.
So, as a lot of people will come to me and say, oh yeah, I want to do rent to rent, I want to be making, you know, 10k a month, this k a month. You know, most of the numbers are unrealistic, subject to what, you know, has been pushed out there, what people have been hearing. You know, and then even you yourself, when you told me how much you wanted to make, I said, bro, we don't need to go that high. It doesn't make sense. You know, we worked out your what you need, your necessities. We add cop on top of it, so you can, you know, get that amount and then start looking at strategies that can start, you know, gaining your assets. You know, at the same time, you know, having the cash flow and the assets going on.
I think that's definitely a good thing that you taught me. Because ownership is definitely a key factor if you want to progress further and be one of the top entrepreneurs within this generation. So ownership is definitely something you should look forward to after you've basically mastered this move and keep it stepping.
I get you, man. And then also one thing, like, you know, I don't like always to pull out, you know, this is great, you know, you're financially free, you're making this. Because, you know, once you look into it, it's challenging, it's difficult, you know. And then when people approach me, you know, for mentoring, coaching, you know, whatnot, the first thing I let them know is the challenge, you know. This is a walk in the park, it's not easy, you know. It requires work, you're running a business, it requires attention, you know, it's like raising a kid. You know, what were the challenges that you know, you was facing along the way when, you know, you started your... Because you reached out to me, when was it? I can't even remember.
I think it was April, mid-April.
So you reached out to me mid-April, and then we done like the first session where I told you to set yourself up. And then I remember, because I was looking on my IG today, on the 26th of May, we were on the, you know, viewing properties, and this is one of the properties that we viewed. You know, just tell us more about this, you know, the challenges you came across, the struggles, you know. Because even, was it 2 days ago when we spoke, you said, you know, you're annoyed, it feels like you're not moving fast enough, you know.
I think one of the challenges that most of these trainers won't tell you is that when you're creating your company, for me, it wasn't too bad for me because I created my company for other stuff and I had already been basically operating for 1 year. But if someone that's fresh to rent, they're creating a company within 2 weeks and then you want to tell an agent, I want to control this landlord's property. And that's a lot of things people don't tell you. So for me, most companies wouldn't look at you if you haven't been operating for 3 years. But I was lucky in this instance, they were able to look at me and I had to provide a guarantor in this instance for me. So I'd say for a lot of people, always take into consideration that some companies might not look at you because of how long you've been operating. You probably created your company within 2 weeks. And every agent I've almost come across has asked me, how long have you been working for? What was your turnover? Where have you previously had properties at? So I guess you have to start somewhere, but always keep those things in mind that people don't tell you. So I say, with this one as well, I guess it was the tendency of the contract of reading through it. I've never read through a contract. I've never rented out a house by myself before. So when I was reading through it, it's easy for me to skip stuff that someone that's skilled in this that can pick up where I might get tricked along the way. So I say it's always good to have a second look over it and try not to worry about the cost, because it's better for you to get someone to look over it than it costing you much more money down the line if you don't get it professionally looked at. So I say that's one key factor for me, the contract and making sure everything is suitable for me.
Exactly. And also one thing that I liked, you know, when Milvia asked you, you know, how you feeling about your property, and a lot of people will be, you know, excited, will be pumped, you know, I got the keys, you know, ready to set go. But what I like about your mindset is, you know, it's not done yet, it's not over. Until this thing is tenanted, it's a liability.
For me, it's not over to have breaking even, to be honest with you. To have breaking even, it's not over because anything can happen, you can fully tenant it. And then somewhere down the line, like, this person might lose their job or they might not be able to pay for it. And when you have that void, it could potentially be a big deal for it, depending on the way you factor the deal. So I say for me, I think I'd only be satisfied maybe in the next year or two. Once I've experienced it, I feel like I've gained enough knowledge and the thing is going well for me, because you can get so happy about collecting the dough, then the next step something can hit you and you'll be back down again. So it's always to try best to look at the worst case scenario and what can happen and try and mitigate your risk.
That's a smart one, man. And then always trying to remain like real to what you're doing. Don't let no emotion influence,
Definitely.
your decision, how you're moving about your business. That's decent. I like that. So we've got this property here, put on the market. So what's next for you? Are you looking to get more?
So originally, when I started, I was like, I'm gonna get 10 HMOs and start operating it. And then you showed me, if you're managing 10 HMOs, you're potentially managing about 60 to a vast amount of people.
It depends on if you're going for like 5 bed, 6 bed unit. You're looking around this 60 plus 10, so 40. Depends on it can get quite hectic.
So like as you said, smart, be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and realistic is really a factor you wanna take into consideration. So for me, I think I'm gonna make sure this place is fully tenanted, and then see if any other deal that is suitable, or I feel like the occupancy rate is quite high, then it's something I'll take on. But for me, my first mission is to definitely get this place tenanted and get it ready and going.
Also, this area, like in South London, Arkansas is a good area because I know the area pretty well. It's a different, it's definitely a good area. Yeah, man. So you've done well, man. So what would you say to anyone that's watching that want to get started? About anything. What would you say to what would you advise them? About the journey.
Get educated. Know why you're doing it, and be specific and realistic. I say be specific, be realistic, and know your why, because your why is what's gonna keep you going whenever you hit a bump on the road.
Nah, definitely, man. Nah, I appreciate you, bro. Well done on your journey. You've done well. I think it's about 4 weeks in, you're getting your first deal.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell icon, whatever I hear people say these days. Like, share, whatever. And if you need any help, feel free to get in touch with me. If you wanna speak to Jermaine about his journey, feel free to reach out to him as well. And stay blessed.
Musali. No. No. Bottles in, keep it. She don't keep it moving. I said, fuck it.
Fucked around and got a new bitch.